You do.
Okay.
You
Well,
really
hey.
do. I mean, that's, okay. Is that,
3, 2, 1.
welcome everyone all over the world. I'm Daryl J. Bennett, and we're here in Manhattan, New York, specifically at the second presidential debate for free and fair elections. And you would probably remember Gabe. Gabe, what's your last name?
Cornejo. Gabriel Cornejo. Spelled corn like the food, EJO.
Okay, Gabe Corneo. You probably remember him from last time when we were here at the first debate. Talk to us a little bit about what's happened since then.
Oh, man. Okay, so we've got a lot going on. We've got March 5th coming up. So we have Super Tuesday for those folks that aren't familiar. But I'm on the ballot in California, Texas, Utah, Colorado, Minnesota. And if you can imagine, I finished third in Nevada in the primary we just had.
Well, congratulations.
Thanks. And so that's led to a groundswell of support, but my volunteership has increased dramatically as well. So the message that I've been putting out to average Americans is resonating because we all see, and even including tonight, everybody on stage understands that the game is rigged, and so it's time to make that change to focus on families and communities rather than just the comforts of the wealthy.
What have you learned throughout this presidential campaign?
Are you kidding me? So I'm on the Democratic Party ticket, right? I guess I anticipated a little bit of obstacles being presented by the Democratic Party, but I never thought that they would actually go as far as canceling primaries. In fact, I was in the Democratic Party of Florida. They had their candidate meeting, their first one of all the candidates running in all the different races in the state, and I was in that meeting digitally. They asked for questions, so I asked, why did you keep presidential candidates off the ballot? They deleted my question, so then I put myself on camera, and then I interrupted and asked verbally. They muted me. Then I gave the moderator an opportunity to say her piece. She said, well, we'd like to have questions in the chat section. So I interrupted again. I said, I did put my question in there. You deleted it. And then they kicked me out of the meeting. So as far as what I have learned, the game is even more rigged at every layer of this process for anybody that's trying to make change for our country. And it's very apparent, we are all very aware that we are seeing the Democratic nominee at the top of the ticket, Joe Biden. His mental acuity is in question. And they're going to tell you, no, don't believe your lying eyes. Folks, everybody on stage recognizes the duopoly is an issue. And I'm part of this party, fighting for this party, but it's fighting for the soul of our party and nation.
Yeah, I was going to say that. This is pretty interesting because it's one thing to hear the Libertarian candidates, the Green Party candidates, the Independent, candidates to say it, but to hear someone who is, a registered Democrat, and you're saying how much, opposition you've come up against. So where are you off to next?
Yeah, so we are actually here in New York just for tonight. We're going to go to New Jersey tomorrow so I can get signatures so I can be on the ballot in New Jersey, and that'll be for a day. But right after that, I'm heading out to California because I grew up in Southern California, so I've got a big following. In fact, we're going to be speaking at my high school so that way we can let my community where I grew up know about the mission that we're all moving this country forward towards. And then, of course, that Super Tuesday, that involves all those states that I mentioned before that. But I also, because I've lived in all these places, California, Nevada, Arizona, Utah, I've got all these ties. So Arizona is going to be next, and that's where I've got a lot of support. And so if you're paying attention at all, go to gabe24.com, and you'll be able to see the journey that I put on, including the video, because I recorded that session with the Democratic Party. So I'm going to publicize that, so that way people can see themselves. The Democratic Party is actually getting in the way of democracy. And so when they say that they're the protectors of democracy, this is going to show otherwise.
Please do. Yeah, I would love to see that even personally. Last question here, or really not so much a question. I would like you to look at this camera, Gabe, and just talk to the people. What do you want them to know about you? Maybe that they don't know about you, either those that's been following your candidacy or those who've never, seen you before, but they're watching now. What do you want them to know from the candidate's mouth?
Yeah, so the aspect that I wanted everybody to walk away with was knowing who I am as a person. A lot of candidates will come up here on stage or they'll make these arguments that they understand your pain, yet they haven't walked a mile in your shoes. I've lived the life of a white collar, blue collar, no collar, living out of my car for 3 years to running for president of the United States. That is the embodiment of what America is supposed to be having as an opportunity for anybody to accomplish. Now, the game has been changed and rigged in favor of those that already have power. But guess what? You've got a fighter in myself. I'm not like Marianne Williamson. I'm not going to drop out just because I didn't do well in a state and then come back when it's politically prudent. I'm here to fight for you. And it shows, and the receipts that I have, they'll all back it up, because I'm not just a talker. I actually do the work. So I will continue to fight for you. And so I need your support, though, because I can't do this alone. We, the average Americans, need to make this movement and make this change for our country happen. And that involves you.
Well, look, it's always a pleasure speaking with you. I'm sure I'll run into you again, absolutely, whether in these circles or just in general. I really wish you the best in your candidacy and just in life in general.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Of course, of course.
Oh, I got to say this part. Daryl J. Bennett here with Millennium 24 News. Stay tuned.
Yeah. I will. I do.
Yeah.